Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be her from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke. No. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want. Yeah, I pissed so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. 180. 54. Mike, 54. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Mostert. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He gets it to Brown, complete. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, 49ers. Antonio Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. after the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 34. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
We ain't beginning to swear you up. Don't get nervous.
Here's Wilson to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
1st and 10 at the 33.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me something.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going deep for Brown. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, shedding the tackle. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Now Gold for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. From the 35 on second down, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 12 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outs. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Niners 14, Seahawks 7.
Here we go.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Wild Bill. 11. Check 26, check 26.
Now Mostert. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now it's Lockett. Oh, eluding the tackle. A nice little juke. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Montgomery. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
1st down, Seattle.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line.
And the Seahawks, 1st down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They run it with Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Myers connects on the PAT, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth 1st half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. White. White 54.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He'll have a first down past the 40. Open man is Samuel, complete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Looking left side, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
Here we go. Mike 54. What's the cut?
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Got a man, it's Brown. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 29-yard line.
Here we go. 180. Right there, 54 Mike. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
At the 17-yard line.
Here we go. 120. Check. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, watch it. 12. Mike 5-4.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you call multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Garoppolo, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Garoppolo looks to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
We got to step it up.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Intended for Antonio Brown. Incomplete. Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. On line, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. Garoppolo now. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Samuel, the 36th overall pick in last year's draft. Played his college ball at South Carolina. Really good senior campaign. 62 catches, 882 yards, and also threw in 11 touchdowns for good measure. This is Mostert. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Garoppolo. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Grenade! Mike 5-4. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby!
On 3rd down, Carson. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Let's go, let's bring it! Let's bring it! Check, 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 check!
They run for it with Carson. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky, because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Here we go.
That's a 47-yard line.
57. Oh, get him! Get him! Get him!
Mostert. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 10.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Watch the back.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check right. Hey, alert.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Cut. 315. 14. 54. We got it. Watch out. Mike's 54.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. The corner from Compton, Mr. Sherman getting the hand in there to knock that one away.
And what a path of his to where he is right now. From Compton to Stanford. He's a wide receiver at Stanford before flipping around becoming a defensive back. Lightly drafted. Remember, he went late in the draft for them and has turned into one of the best ones out there. I think his ability to be close on the play and it has such great timing right at the end to get in there and knock balls away.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That's going to be caught, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on second down. Garoppolo, the first catch of the game for George Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Let's 57.
And they give this time to the tailback. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Niners on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 22. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Alert.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. There's Garoppolo to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Double dog. That's the way.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage.
Here we go.
But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Hey, man. Watch the goose.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. This will be caught by Brown. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Here we go.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo again on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He finds Coleman. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Let's go.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
That's what I do.
Wilson wants to throw it. Steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Okay, ready? 54, right there. 54, Mike. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Mike.
Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the victory here for Seattle, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw